Hi, this is Allie.
And this is AJ.
And welcome to episode 9 of Not That AA, our little podcast where we talk about video games, gaming news, and other random stuff that happens to be going on.
Yep.
So, what we wanted to discuss is a game that we've been playing recently and have had a whole lot of fun with, and that is Mafia 3. So, what are your thoughts?
I think overall it's a really good game. I think the story is really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the production value is insane for the cinematics. Like, the voice acting and everything was very believable.
Yes.
Almost like watching a show. In fact, it kind of reminds me of Boardwalk Empire.
That's true, and we're actually watching Boardwalk Empire too. I think we're in season 3. Yeah, we're very behind, but I enjoy it as well. I love the missions. I like the music. I know you're starting to get used to the cops being everywhere.
I know.
Because you kind of drive crazy and you crash into them, and then they're like, police witness crime, and then they start taking off after you.
So there's definitely a lot of game mechanic issues, I think. I mean, it's not a perfect game.
In what sense?
So, I know some people said it's repetitive, that's fine, but first and foremost, I think the biggest thing is the game does crash quite a bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that happens with anyone else, but I mean, we've been playing it on Xbox One, and it crashes at least once every time I play it. And which it becomes very annoying because especially if you're in the middle of a mission or you're driving to someplace, and because there's no shortcuts when you're trying to get to destinations, you just have to drive it, and when it freezes and you have to restart it, it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, in addition to that, sometimes when you're, you know how it changes from day to night and stuff?
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's daytime or dawn, like, the sun blinds you, and there's no reason why it should blind you like that.
Well, I mean, I think that's part of the realism, because when you drive early in the morning or at night, that's what happens. But it's hard to play.
But you don't want that in a game. Like, literally, you're blind. You can't see anything.
Yes, that is true.
And I guess the other mechanics issue is that when you're... So it's kind of like Grand Theft Auto, where you have semi-auto aim.
Yes.
And when you try to auto-aim, it sometimes aims like 3 meters above the person's head or above the person that you're trying to shoot. Like, it's off.
You need to, what I do is I hit the aim button and then kind of move it around a little bit and then go back into hiding and then use the auto aim to shoot the person. So I don't know if that helps with anything, but that's how I do it. And I've noticed that I've been trying to do more stealth attacks lately anyway. So hiding behind crates, and then when they come by, just cutting them. I mean, it's kind of like a Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you can whistle to get someone to come over and take them down silently, which is a really nice aspect, especially when you're going in to a enemy-filled territory. You can at least take out some of the guys in the perimeter, and then get to the achieve your goal. I know you're more of a guns blazing type.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fuck this shit o'clock.
Yeah,
I
know. You're like, nobody has time for that, and you just go in and start shooting everyone. Like they said on Wild Wild West, I think. You take the Jim West approach. Is like you go in, shoot some more, and then when everyone's dead, try to ask questions.
I mean, like, I play kind of like that in Assassin's Creed too. Like, those were my least favorite missions. It's like, don't get detected or whatever, and don't get alarmed, because I am definitely not a quiet person.
Well, that's because you have to take out those fucking bells too in Assassin's Creed. Anyways, okay, so we're getting off topic, but we both recommend Mafia 3. It's amazing. I think it's kind of like a more mature version of Grand Theft Auto, if you like that sort of game, which I do. I love it. And also, we've been playing a couple other games. I don't think they're not retro or vintage or anything like that. I mean, they're probably, just about 10 years old?
It's just older. We'll just say older.
So older games. So we have Gears. We've been playing Gears of War. And we started playing with split screen originally, so we could play as co-op. But I guess it's because of the low quality of the graphics and the darting around. It was just giving me a crazy headache, so now we just switch off.
Maybe it's just not as smooth, because that's one of the arguments for higher frame rates. Because I think some games shoot for 30 frames per second, but the argument is that if you do 60, it's smoother and you're less prone to motion sickness. Kind of like in VR, it has to be like 120 hertz.
Yeah.
Or else you'll get motion sick. Maybe that's part of it. But it's been a while since I played split screen games. I think the last one was Halo. And honestly, I have no idea how I did it, because it does kind of make me a little dizzy and woozy. But
also, go on.
Oh, I was saying maybe that's why a lot of games nowadays don't support it anymore, because, you know, less people are playing split screen games nowadays.
Yeah. Also, we just started playing Diablo 2, which you are very, very familiar with, but I had never played before. I was kind of late on the whole Diablo train, and I've only played 3. I mean, I've played it a billion times, but that's the only one I've played. And so you're trying to get me hooked on Diablo 2, which you say has better gameplay just overall.
Yeah, I think most people won't disagree with that statement, because I think the problem with Diablo 3 is it gets grindy.
Okay.
And that's part of what kills the momentum, right? So there's certainly a grindy component to Diablo 2, but I think the loot distribution's better. And I feel like for example, the legendaries and the set items have more impact in Diablo 2.
Okay, well, I have yet to discover that. The only thing, I mean, I haven't played it yet. We downloaded it and installed it, but yesterday, which one was I playing yesterday? Do you remember?
You were playing Torchlight 2.
Torchlight 2, that's it. I like that one. I thought it was kind of fun.
Try Diablo 2 and see what you think, and we'll pick the one you like the best.
Yes. So if anyone has any input on which ones they like better, Diablo 2 or Torchlight 2, please feel free to let us know. I'm always eager to hear other people's opinions of different games. So
Diablo 2 brought out like the worst in our friend group. Like, there's some bugs in Diablo 2. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's something called corpse popping.
Oh,
so basically, when you die in Diablo, especially during a duel, you drop an ear, which is like a trophy, and you leave a corpse behind. Mm-hmm. Right? So what you would do is you would run up to the guy's corpse and you drop a bunch of shield and armors and stuff on it, and then they would accidentally click it up instead of pick up their corpse, which has all their items on it, right? So the bug is, if your character is equipped, your naked body is equipped with armor and stuff, and you click on your corpse, everything on your corpse drops. So you could loot that person's, like, nice items.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's like a bug, and it used to drive people nuts. And we used to, like, screw each other over so we can get, like, their loot.
Friends forever.
Friends forever.
Let's see, what else? Oh, and where we are, the beloved McDonald's McRib is back. So we got our McRibs today.
Yep.
I know some people really hate it and say it's mystery meat, but I mean, I like it. Maybe it's because I grew up poor, and poor people, and it's been shown in studies, you know, people who grew up poor versus people who grew up affluent have, you know, different palates, because it affects, you know, where you do get your groceries and where you get your food and everything. So I always liked McRibs. I think I'm actually the only person in my family who actually likes them.
Really?
I think so. Maybe my dad might like them a bit, but my mom and my brother don't like stuff like that.
I love McRibs. It's like if you took what are those called? You know those microwave dinners with the pork ribs and stuff in them?
Yeah.
If you took that patty, instead of eating it with the mashed potatoes, they have you just slapped it on a bun.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. When they served it when I was in elementary school, and they called it Ribicue. And it was the same thing, but I think it was without the bun, and it was served with corn or a roll or something. And I thought it was really tasty.
Yeah.
That's something that I miss from elementary school, actually, is, and I say actually way too much. I apologize. But the lunches at my elementary school were amazing, probably because it was a magnet school.
Mm-hmm.
And they had the tastiest pizza and probably the best rice pilaf that I have ever tasted in my entire life. I have no idea how they made it, but it was delicious. And when we had lasagna and we got the bread rolls with it, oh my God, I have no idea how they made it so delicious. I know it's
hated elementary school food.
I know, I was totally spoiled because most people hate their elementary school food, but mine was so good. I mean, our rolls and oh my God.
They served like the most bizarre combination. So, like, some schools, you know, everyone loved pizza days.
Of course.
Like, some schools bake theirs, but I think ours, they ordered like a Domino's pizza and split up the slices or something like that. And I guess someone decided to make it more nutritious, quote unquote. They would include applesauce and like milk with it. And if you ever just think about that, a slice of pizza with applesauce and milk, that is like the strangest combination.
I don't think it's all that weird.
It's pretty gross. I thought it was
yeah, if you
pretty
try
gross.
to eat it together.
But that's how they serve it, you know?
No, I mean, like, did they put the applesauce on top of the pizza?
Right next to it, and sometimes it sloshes over.
You didn't have the little partitions in your plates?
Yeah, but when they slop it onto your plate, you know, like some of that stuff splashes over. Maybe that's why some people like dipping their crust in ranch to drown out the nastiness of the applesauce.
Applesauce is not even nasty. I think
On
applesauce
pizza
is
it is.
tasty.
Just think about that cheesy apple. No, just no.
Well, some people like that. You know, they serve like apple pies with a slice of American cheese on it. Where is that a thing? I forgot. I want to say Ohio, but that's probably wrong. Somewhere in the Midwest, right?
I know what you're saying, yeah.
Where they have to serve it. I think it's actually a law that
it's
you
with
can't.
Kraft cheese, right?
Yeah. You just get the singles and you melt it on top of apple pie. I've never had it before, but I've heard people say that it's actually surprisingly amazing. But I just can't.
It sounds really weird.
I can't get past the weird part. I know there's a couple weird things that people do. I mean, here in the South, they like the whole salty sweet type of thing. So people put peanuts in Coke. Have you heard about that?
I've heard of that.
I've never done that before, but I actually don't like eating peanuts, so I've never tried it. But I got into something, you know, back when I lived on the West Coast, where my friend liked dipping her French fries
in shake.
In Frosty, specifically.
I do like dipping fries in shake.
That is good. That is really, really good. So, which I haven't done in a long time. We should go and get a Frosty.
Where can you get one here?
There's a Wendy's. Oh. Like when I drive home from work, there's a Wendy's.
Oh, well, anyway, enough talk about food.
I think it's dinner time now. But anyways, to continue our discussions, as you notice, or you may have noticed, we're not discussing anything political because there's already a whole bunch of crap online about the recent elections, and we're trying to be a form of escapism.
Yeah, I think it's been beaten to death. There's no point in fueling that fire any further.
Yeah. So we're just hoping that everyone stays safe, and we wish everyone the best, of course. And okay, yeah, now our podcast like started sounding really somber. We have to talk about something happy again.
So something got announced, I think, since the last time we talked, which is the Nintendo
Switch.
Announcement. Yeah.
Woo.
So what do you think about it?
I really like the idea. I'm still... I know it's being marketed as a home console. And I really don't think it has those capabilities. I think it's a fancy handheld, which is fine. Like, I think having a really nice handheld gaming system like that, it's a great idea. And I believe it should have does it have expandable memory, or we don't know yet, right?
We don't really have any details.
But it seems like something that would be fantastic to travel with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know about our listeners out there, but I always, whenever I get an upgrade for the phone, I always get the one with the smallest amount of memory just because it's cheaper, which maybe is a little short-sighted. So I actually don't have tons of room for music or books or pictures or anything like that. But I think if this Switch has either a good amount of memory coming standard or has an expandable like micro SD slot or maybe some sort of Nintendo proprietary memory like Sony used to do with the...
No, don't do that.
Okay,
it
well...
would fail miserably if it did that.
Well, something. I'm just trying to say that it needs something.
So I think the rumor is that the Switch itself won't have that much memory because a lot of it is reliant on game cards and not so much downloadable content. And that they would do what the 3DS did, which is support micro SD cards. And you can support like up to 128 gigs or whatever that way.
Yeah,
that way you can swap between SD cards or...
But an Amazon Fire can handle even more than that.
True.
So what I want is something that is a combination of a 3DS and like an Amazon Fire. So something that I can read magazines on a flight and listen to music, but at the same time, or not at the same time, but then after that switch to watching a movie, and then after that switching to playing a game. I guess I'm being selfish. I want this just a great all-around item. It doesn't have to be perfect in any one thing, but I want something that can have a myriad of uses.
You want it to do more things than just gaming.
Yes, and I want it to do more things than just, an iPad, because iPads, yeah, they have a lot of versatility, but there's a lot of things you can't do on it, I don't think iPads are very good for gaming at all. I mean, some people love... I understand the allure of mobile gaming, so if you're playing, like, say, I don't know, Candy Crush or whatever the hell you're playing... It's great to have it on your phone while you're waiting for the train or the subway or like taking a dump or whatever. But it's you don't really want to have like a big iPad or something for something like that. But I think the Switch is kind of in that like perfect size range. And
we'll see what happens. I mean, the thing is, traditionally Nintendo focused mainly on gaming. So that aspect of it, I guess, is a little concerning because they had to position themselves in a way where they're like, hey, look, we're still a gaming company. This isn't really this isn't really like an iPad, but
it looks like a tablet.
I mean, it does.
It's a tablet.
So it does look like a tablet. So that's the thing, right? Some people are arguing that it's more of an iPad competitor rather than a PS4 and Xbox One competitor.
Oh, it is not. I mean, I can already say it is not even going to come close to the performance of a current gen console, like a PS4 or an Xbox.
Well, I mean, it's got a small form factor.
Exactly. I don't think people should expect it to perform on the same level. But you're trading off performance with portability, and we live in a very portable based world, so I think it has the potential to be really cool.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. We also have to see if the price is right, too. I think, and a bunch of people have been saying this too, that it should be priced below $300. But it would not surprise me if they pushed it to around $350 to $400 if they're really trying to push it and market it as a home console.
So there's actually a really good article about this that someone wrote. And they're saying that the magic price for Nintendo is actually $300, and here's why.
$300 or $299? Because there is a difference between how people perceive it.
Probably $299.
Okay, that's fair.
But so the thing is this: when the Wii U came out, it was $350. Okay, and the PS4 was $399. So for a negligible amount of difference, one might say $49. you can get a much more capable console that does Blu-ray and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the Wii U was doomed to fail from the start because of that. Okay. And plus the gimmick was never really caught on. Even within Nintendo. Like, Nintendo didn't even really embrace the second screen thing. So, the thing with the Switch is, it's kind of like a handheld / home console, right? It's kind of a hybrid. Mm-hmm. They have to price it at a point where it's not too close to their 3DS, because if that's the case, they'll cannibalize all the 3DS sales. And 3DS is $200. Mm-hmm. $99 on Black Friday, by the way.
Woo-hoo!
So, if they price it too close to the 3DS, that's going to cannibalize the 3DS sales, right?
I thought the whole point was to merge.
We don't know that for sure yet.
Okay.
So they might still want to sell the 3DS if it's still selling.
I think with the Switch, I think they should bring down the 3DS price permanently to around $100 and something after the Switch gets released, because I think that the 3DS should be after the release of the Switch, it should be geared more towards children. For like their little handheld console, I think it would be geared to people like 13 and below, and the Switch would be for teens, 20s, more adult gamers, because to me that just makes sense.
And to be honest, like the 3DS, there besides a couple really compelling games, I feel like there's really not that many games I feel like playing.
Well, that's because they're all like little pet shop makeover, whatever.
There's a lot of like bloatware, so to speak. Like they're like games, but they're not really like fully immersive games that you would normally want to play.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? With handhelds, you don't want something that's so involved that you'll never be able to play it on your commute. And that's why mobile gaming is kind of winning right now.
I think that the Switch is, at least from the commercial or the trailer that they've released, it's trying to show people really involved in the game and then being able to just, pull it out and then go anywhere. So, like, it's kind of going away from the more simplistic games that you would see on a 3DS.
Yeah,
right?
and I think that's part of the allure, right? Like, being able to play more involved game. The thing is, they do exist on handhelds to some degree. But, like the Vita, like the 3DS, when you come home and you have a big TV in front of you, you don't want to pull out your handheld.
That's true.
Right? So if you can automatically continue the game on the big screen TV, like on the Switch, that makes a lot more sense, right?
Yeah, totally.
And then going back to the pricing thing, the PS4 and the Xbox One are now firmly at around $299.
Yeah.
Right? So if they price the Switch above that, people are going to wonder, well, the Xbox One and the PS4 plays Blu-ray DVDs, which the Switch we already know is not going to, because there's no drive. And it also does all this online streaming and all this other stuff. Why would I pay more for a Switch when I can get way more functionality for less? Okay, that's one. And if they price it at $350 and have it cost more than the PS4 and the Xbox One, that's a problem, because for $50 more you can get the PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
Which supports 4K. So they would be inadvertently basically pricing themselves out of competition. Right?
Well, I'm hoping that maybe they'll try to go and just really focus on volume of sales and come in at like $249.
If they did that, I think it would sell really well.
It would sell incredibly well, because people would be, oh, it's less than $250. Yeah, let's pick it up, While if it's crowding, or if, like you said, it's creeping like into the 300 range, there's going to be way too many comparisons between the current gen consoles.
Yeah, and that's inevitable amongst consumers.
Yeah.
Because to a lot of people who can't afford multiple consoles, or they have to save up for a console, they have to make these comparisons.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a big deal. So we'll see what Nintendo does. I think January 12th here is in the US is when we'll find out more details.
Cool. We're eagerly awaiting that. That's going to be in about 2 months. So
yeah, it'll be here before you know it.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. And now we're going to wrap up our show with something that we do every once in a while, which is strange but true news. And I just read on Yahoo News that that a woman's butt exploded during rough sex. Basically, she had, I don't know if they were back alley or they were from a legit doctor. She had injections to make her butt bigger, you know, getting like the full Kardashian. Mm-hmm. And while they were having sex, doggy style, her butt started swelling and it ruptured. Which you can imagine that'd be really painful, but also embarrassing and hilarious at the same time.
I wonder what the guy's reaction was.
He called 911.
Explain that to the EMTs.
I know, right? I bet the EMTs are like, what the hell is this? Anyways, thank you for joining us, and we are hoping to podcast more often. And again, thank you for your support.
See you next time.
See ya.